Welcome to Stuff Weekly, your weekly recap about the Stuff ecosystem. Stuff is a company which is creating the next generation of digital media. Ebooks, audiobooks, music and videos that you really own. Own your stuff. The Stuff team was quite in a few streams and spaces this week. They were yet again on Discover Crypto. Dizzy looks like a big fan of book and stuff. It's great because he has more than 1 million followers on YouTube, so it's great exposure. They got Josh and not James, so the CEO of Stuff, as a guest. It was a pretty short talk. He basically touched upon the new Charles token, which is coming up next week. And then I guess he kind of clarified that it's not only book.io anymore, it's stuff.io, and the token has been renamed to Stuff. So it was more like, crossing some T's and dotting some I's, and quickly talking about the Charles token. Very professional, very, very quick, straight to the point, but no special alpha in there. The other thing that was much more interesting and way bigger was this stream they had with El Pasoverse, and here there is a lot of things to talk about. So let's go through them. So El Pasoverse, what it is, it's a project on Cardano. The lead is Ryan Vick, who is an actor, and well, he owns the right of 83 books, Western books, the Morgan Cain series. And they put a few of those books on the blockchain already with book.io. And the thing is that they have plans way beyond books, and that's what they talked about. So basically, I'm just gonna go through my notes. So they talk about the fact that Endmaker got El Pasoverse to go to book. So thank you, Patrick Tobler, for making the connection. Ryan, the cowboy you see on the video now, he was actually living in the US, then he moved back to Europe, and in the process he lost all his video collection that he had, I don't know on which platform, but you can imagine. So when book and stuff came up with this idea of really owning your digital media, well, he had this personal connection to it. When it comes to the covers, they mentioned that, so the covers you will see, it's actually stills from movies they are shooting, and they decided not to go with AI because AI struggles with guns. And it's kind of cool to have actually the stills from the movies because it's pretty high quality. Then they go on explaining that they were kind of changing the model. So up to now we had 5 books. They released the 6th one yesterday, and they were really cheap. I don't remember, like less than 20 ADA, I think, except the first one that was kind of the Genesis asset. But now they're kind of, somehow it feels like that changing things up, kind of doing a 180-degree turn here to say that, well, actually these are collectors with unique covers, so we will price them as collector editions. And that's what they did with the book yesterday, Marshall and Murderer, which was 55 ADA if you had the Genesis without Mercy, or 69 if you didn't have it. Whereas the other ones were much cheaper. If you go back here, let's take the number 2. See, it was 25 ADA or 8 if you had a Genesis asset. So it was very accessible. But now they actually decided to boost up the price of collector editions, and then down the line do a reader edition also with book, but also on other platforms, and this one will be cheaper. So basically the idea was about giving a choice to readers. Hey, you just want to read this short Western story? okay, just buy the cheap book. But if you are actually really interested in El Pasoverse and what they're building as a project, and you want to support them and you want to hold a collectible, then go for the collectible version. As always, no one is forcing anyone to buy anything, so it's nice to have the choice. Cheap for reading or a bit pricier for the collectability aspect. Something they plan to do is to first release the collector edition, then have the holders vote on the cover, their favorite cover, and then use this cover for the standard edition, and also, as I said, on other platforms, so we may expect it on Kindle or something like that. So the idea is to release one of these Morgan Kane books every month, but also they have other offers in their back pocket. They mentioned Zane Grey, the first book, Tapan's Bureau, and Zane Grey, I don't know if I can find it in my history. So Zane Grey, he did like a lot of Western books. On this page, only on this page, you have like 50 of them, and I was reading in the comments that there are like 30 more or something like this. So Zane Grey was a very prolific author, and 90 million books sold total is it's quite impressive, I must say. So that's great that El Pasoverse is adding more to their collection, not only Morgan Kane. So Morgan Kane is the hero, the writer is Louis Masterson, I believe. Can see it here, yeah, Louis Masterson. So it's great to see, okay, there'll be more books from different authors. And then what are the plans? Because, okay, they have books, but the covers are stills from movies, so what movies? So the idea is to basically create short movies, 15 to 20 minutes. In particular, the short stories from Zane Grey are like 2-hour reads. So if you compile that in a movie, it's like 15-20 minutes, so it's perfect. And the plan is to do a pre-sale of the book. No, sorry, of the still frame of the movie, because that's the thing, they shoot everything on film, like old school, and what they want to do is to cut each frame of the film and put those aside as collectible, and you're able as a pre-sale to buy the NFT that represent ownership of this frame. And then I guess the idea is that you get it, you get access to it if you wish so. And they want to use that basically to kickstart the shooting. So they did already a few things. Let me check this. They had something around here. Yeah, so they started shooting, and I'm gonna put it a bit before. Yep. So they started shooting, I think it was in Spain, and the plan is to finish the post-production of what they shot, and then do some premiere viewing for holders of the NFT, as well as a roadshow, meaning that they will go through different theaters in Europe and in the US to showcase the movie. And finally, they will sell those rights to streaming platforms. And the idea is that basically the community is kickstarting the movie production, and then it's kind of self-sustainable because they go on tour, people pay to watch it, then they sell the rights to streaming platforms, and then with that they have enough funding to go for the next movies. And the reason they think they can achieve is one movie per month. I say a movie like 15-20 minutes, so not not a standard length movie, but something shorter. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, when you look at those pictures, you can see it's very high quality, very professional, looks really cool. They mentioned they already put a lot of their own money in there. Everything they sell on book.io, they reinvest. So they're really all in on this. That being said, it's still expensive to shoot a movie, and they said that they can either do one movie for 150k USD, or if they get enough funding, they may be able to do 4 movies at once. Because as you can imagine, some actors are the same, and things like that. The places, you have the crews already on site, and if they pack things together, 4 movies would end up at 100k each. So basically, they need either 150k or 400k, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I look at Stuff Episode 0, about Stuff Episode 0. It was 10,000 copies on a company that's established for 2 years, and they made 650,000 USD. And it was a 10k sellout like we've never seen in years. And now you have another project that doesn't seem to have such fame, who's trying to get like 2/3 of that. Yeah, it's quite ambitious. But it's a unique value proposition on Cardano. I mean, maybe not unique. I think Jesus too also had something like that. But it's kind of cool that you are funding a movie, and they definitely want people, to come on stage, be given a tour, maybe show up as an extra because they need people, and they really want to involve the community as much as possible. So if you're into movies and into Western specifically, there's definitely something to do there. The other bit of information that was interesting was that they will have their own tokens called Pasos, and this will be the actual money you will use in El Pasoverse. El Pasoverse will be a physical location where you go, you live everything that is 21st century, you hop onto a costume from the 1800s, and then you live like 200 years ago. And the money in this theme park will be Pasos. I remember they mentioned a long time ago that reading books via book.io would give on top of the Stuff token those Pasos tokens. They didn't talk about it again, but they said they have a stream with Endmaker on Monday, I believe, to talk about the token. So maybe they will confirm, maybe they'll go with something else. They really want to reward the holders. They explained that if you hold the entire collection of El Pasoverse, all the books, every quarter you will get dropped some Pasos tokens. So if you believe that they can pull it off, they can create this crazy, let's call it a theme park, even though it might not be super accurate. So if you believe they will do it and that people will go there and experience life, like the Western life, then yeah, you will be taken care of, it seems. Okay, I'm going through the rest of my notes. There was something interesting at the 45-minute mark. Yep, it's here. So it's basically talking about, you see this gunsling, well, you may as well get it. Physical collectible. I'm not sure how, if it will be a raffle or things like this, but props from the movies are definitely up for grabs, it seems. And that's pretty cool. Everything is handmade. He's showing a tobacco pouch here. So again, if you're like an ultra fan, can you imagine you buy like 10 steel frames, you have that physically encased at home, you have this gunsling, and if the franchise goes big, I mean, then it's definitely kick-ass. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna become like Star Wars or something like this, but it does look pretty cool to own something physical, something that was on the movie, something that you can show people like, hey, on Netflix, this Morgan Kane or Zane Grey Western, you see the hero, he's holding this gun. Well, I have it in my living room. Interesting piece of conversation. for sure. So yep, that was basically it. They have a lot of projects. Book and stuff will support that. Stuff may support the steel frame sale or pre-sale, and I actually don't remember that the movies will be on stuff. I'm not sure if I didn't pay enough attention or if they just didn't mention it. It sounds like a natural fit, but it looks like the way they want to go is more like with movie theaters first, and then like exclusive viewing kind of thing, and then with streaming. So maybe in streaming they are thinking about stuff.io as well. All right, and last thing where the stuff team was present is a space with Stag Alliance. Stag Alliance had a mint last Friday, extremely successful. Yeah, in my last video I said I think they will sell out like half, so like 500. They sold out 1,000 copies, so I was way off the mark. But what about the space in particular? Well, they basically prepared for the mint. They explained that it's a fantasy book. It's already on Amazon. You can buy it there. It has excellent reviews. I wonder if I can find it. Yep. So you have it here. Oh wow, they're doing some discounts, some special offer at the moment. But otherwise, yeah, it's rather $16. And you can see 4.4 stars out of 140. They mentioned it was a bestseller. I'm not sure how that works on Amazon, but I will believe them. And they had very positive reviews. One of them saying that it's basically a mix of Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. I find that particularly convenient from a marketing perspective to mash up two big names like this. But okay, it gives you the gist of it. If you're into fantasy, might be just the book for you. And then they explain what they did with the mint itself, that they really focused on the collectability aspect. These are not just books. They will give you perks in their ecosystem. You can earn some prestige points, which are then converted to ADA rewards. They also hid some treasures, some hints in the book. So here I'm in the book app, reading my book, and I think it was at the end of chapter 2. Yep. So you would see an enigmatic drawing like this, and this is only in specific books, not all of them. And well, basically this is some kind of runic alphabet that you need to decipher. And when you get all the words together, there are actually seed phrases. So you restore a wallet using the seed phrase that you decode, and you get access to some treasures. Apparently, so far, these are like Stag NFTs. So it's cool that you buy a book that ideally you just want to read, and then you find this, and you start the treasure hunt. It was like I would say a marketing genius, because what happened is that, I mean, if you look here, you can make up like 4 words. A seed phrase is 24 words. So obviously I don't have everything here. So it forces readers to collaborate with others who got those, or maybe trade, or maybe pay for the information. And so based on that, there's more excitement. People keep their books. They don't list immediately because they need to flip through everything to see if they got the treasure. And then both communities talk together, they interact. It keeps people busy. It's like a game, and in a sense, it's added utility. It's not a book that you only read, it's a book that is a puzzle at the same time, makes you collaborate with new people and get rewarded for it if you're quick enough I don't have enough words to crack the seed phrase, but if you do and you're looking for a translator, shout out to Tall New Pinks who can get you sorted out. So yeah, this space with Stag Alliance was explaining all of this, and it's just the beginning. They're gonna do more books. They wait a bit because they just minted one, obviously. One question that was interesting was when they were asked, okay, because you already sold on Kindle, so what can you do with book that you cannot with Kindle? And they explained, well, obviously the true ownership, you can have a book that no one else has, no unique cover, unique number. And what was interesting is that they said they felt challenged because it changes the way the creators think about their art or about their content. Like, how can they give the most value to buyers? Because when you write a book, you put it on Kindle, but the book is the utility, is the value. But when you have something like book.io and you can do way more things, so which things do you do? And this was I would say a creative challenge for them that they really enjoyed. So for instance, something that you can only do with book.io is to have those treasures, those hints hidden in the book. Because you have to imagine that you have, so all the books are divided by covers, and inside those covers you have specific books or specific numbers that have a hint. And I know that hints may be repeated across multiple books, but also you have, I don't remember, I think it was 36 hints or something like that. So you have a lot of variety in the actual content of the book. You can have a book like only you has this specific content, this hint. So that's something that only book.io can do and not a normal ebook. And then they said that, yeah, they want to work with the community to integrate their ideas in the book and the project in general. And they really appreciated the synergy between both communities. I went to Stag Alliance Discord. A lot of those people came to stuff.io as well. And that's how both communities grow, by mingling, by having synergy. And it's super positive for Stuff in particular, because Stuff can create this asset that can be a new collectible or a new form of value for other projects. And you have the same thing with the frog stuff from Clay Nation, that they can do the usual NFTs, or they can do a claymation video and sell it to their holders. So stuff.io, book.io as an infrastructure, you don't mint an NFT, you mint a book, something that gives even more value and utility to your communities. And seeing the Stuff.io community grow is definitely positive. Stag Alliance is an extremely active community. I had no idea, to be honest. I would see them sometimes on my timeline and be like, well, okay, cool, it's a project. But once you get in the Discord, it's pretty active, I must say. All right, so Discover Crypto, then the El Pasoverse, and then Stag Alliance. These were all the media appearances of Stuff. So yeah, now instead of watching 2.5 hours worth of content, you are up to date. I know it was quite long though, so let's move to the mints. Alright, when it comes to the mints, I'm not gonna go over A Tale of the Nine Lands again. It's the one from Stag Alliance, super successful, 999 books sold out in probably less than 12 hours. So perfect. This is the blueprint if you want to release a book on book.io and you have like a Web3 community. Do what they did. It's no surprise that it was so successful. So that's it. Then we got the sixth book of the El Pasoverse, Marshall and Murderer. You can see those pictures are taken from the short movies they do. looks pretty nice. And as I explained, they jacked up the prices to reflect the collectability aspect of those books. And then we had this week another bulk mint. Is those you see here, Alabama Noir, Austin Noir, and so on. It was 15 books in total. I'm gonna take the Copenhagen one because EU. And yeah, so crime fiction apparently. And yeah, all of these are from Akashic Books. It's the publisher which released the books from Chuck D. And I remember one author in the OG Book Club mentioned that they read some of those entries in that series and that they're really good. So if you're into crime type of thing, you can definitely look in there. They didn't really sell a lot, I assume. If I check Karanos Khan, yeah, only 3 copies here. So yeah, not very successful. These are standard editions, only 1 cover, and yeah, price-wise, it's it's not that cheap, I'd say. But if you're into it, definitely those are books that have been tested, I'd say. And shout out to Akashic Books for still trusting the team. So this was this week. Next week, the big thing we'll have is this. About Stuff episode 2, the Charles token. This interview, more than an hour and a half, about the life of Charles Hoskinson. You can see the info here. First video media token, 48-hour sale. 1 Charles token is 1 cent, minimum purchase of 5 ADA or 1 USD. So apparently we'll be able to buy with ADA or credit card. 5 ADA is what? 1.6, 1.7 USD, something like this. So I guess we'll get like 150 tokens for 5 ADA. I don't know. Very important here. Stuff.io team will set up the liquidity pool. So we'll be able to trade. And prizes will be distributed to top holders of Charles. Remember, we have a space on September 3rd, Tuesday, with Charles Hoskinson to talk about all this. So hopefully we'll learn more about those mysterious prizes and also the future assets / media that we may be able to purchase with Charles token. I don't know how big this is gonna get. I'm quite enthusiastic in general. And I just wonder how many people will learn about it during this space and when it will start, and how many people will learn after the sale is done and will try to play catch up. It's gonna be crazy, I think. There's no one bigger than Charles on Cardano, and he's releasing a token. And an interesting token that has built-in utility, which is a video. So if you like the man and you want to learn about his life, basically, you can buy and just watch. And then you may or may not speculate. The choice is yours. And now going through some short news, just some posts I bookmarked on X. Ben talking about the fact that a media token is not a meme token, so pumping things up here. It's definitely very trying to push that as an alternative to meme tokens. Like, stop buying a meme, buy something that has built-in utility, and also to push it like as celeb tokens, because apparently some celebrities are now releasing tokens that have 0 value and may create problems for them with the SEC, from what I understand. Whereas, hey, they sell a token that is actually a video or a song, well, then they're selling just an item, right? So there's that. There's this thing here, very interesting as well. This is Josh, I don't know, doing an interview. It seems you see the camera there, the mics here, and this is with West Coast Shop. I think it's a show called Monster Garage on Mondays at 10 p.m. on Discovery and streaming on Discovery Plus. I'm curious about what's happening here. Is it just an interview? Is it an actual episode? Because this guy, I guess he has a show with Discovery, so I don't see him doing a show with a competitor, basically, with stuff.io. But what may be happening is him deciding to give extra content to his followers with doing something with stuff. And maybe this is the stuff studio we've been hearing about, where stuff may be some kind of small production company to create this extra content that creators want to give to their super fans. But hey, Discovery, they are pretty big. Yeah, 9 million followers. Monster Garage though, not so much, only less than 500 followers. I don't know, maybe those people are just not on X. I can see that. I feel like people who watch TV are not the people who are on the internet in general. But it shows that we have connections to actual TV shows. And we may get something, even if it's just loosely related to the show itself. It's kind of bonus content. Maybe that's what stuff will be. You have all those shows on traditional platforms, and if you're a super fan, you go to stuff and you get the extra content. Maybe that's the idea. But in any case, very good news that we can actually connect with TV shows. That is how to say we have a foot in the door to maybe get the actual shows someday, and it shows that we have the connections as well. So even though the show doesn't seem to have a big following on X, I think it's still a milestone in its own way. Okay, then talking about the Charles token. Oh yeah, this one was interesting. ITG Publishing. These are the people who released like 15 IT books last week. And guess what? They're talking about it. So, usually we're like, hey, publishers, they don't really seem to advertise their mints on book.io. But here they did. And maybe it will help with their sale. I don't know, do they have a lot of audience? Yeah, less than 700 followers. But it's very niche. So maybe it's some of that. So I just wanted to, I guess, tip my hat to ITG Publishing for putting in the work. And hopefully it will translate into more sales. This tweet here is just kind of funny thing. Someone asking Book.io to put the Cardano Constitution print, to do a Cardano Constitution print once it's ratified. And okay, apparently they already talked about this. But here the person is asking about print, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to mint and print the Cardano Constitution. It would be kind of cool though. Can you imagine, framing it, having it at home? Like, tell me you're a nerd without saying you're a nerd. But still, a historic moment, Chang Hard Fork coming up. Exciting, a bit scary, but definitely a historic moment. As always, nice to see Stuff and Book close to the Cardano community where they started. Yep, so that's where we are for the short news of the week. Maybe we can have a look at the newsletter. So in the newsletter, what did we get this week? Kubernetes migration in progress still. There was a bug on sending assets on Cardano. It's fixed, good. Messaging enhancements on the token bridge. Yep, token bridge still live. So okay, maybe there were some warning messages or something when swapping. They made it clearer. All right. New Android and iOS updates with minor improvements, so not the offline mode yet. Stuff Studio project is progressing, and eventually this will get us to public minting portal, so that's what Stuff Studio seems to be. And that is great. I feel like it's probably easier to create the minting portal for music and videos rather than books. because I assume it's just easier to provide a video, which is just one file, rather than a book, which needs to be like proofread, formatted, add a cover to it. Just an assumption. But I feel like maybe music and videos are more straightforward in a sense. Also, way easier to do a quality check on them. So just watch the video and that's it. Library Value USD ready for production deployment, so that shouldn't be long. And they are working on the offline mode architecture for mobile, along with other enhancements. So we'll see about that. Then, okay, talking about stuff, the X Space with Charles on September 4th, the sale the day afterwards for 48 hours. And then the Hosky episode of About Stuff, so that will be About Stuff episode 3, moving into post-production. So, okay, they're in there. All right. And then, yeah, Jesse James is this person from the Discovery show. Yep. So, yep, that's it for the short news of the week. And actually, no. I have actually something else that came to mind. Let me get this. It was somewhere in the OG club. No. It was here. Yep. Remember, a few weeks back, we had some kind of beta testing of the self-publishing portal. And someone asked, yeah, will there be other books that will be done through the beta testing or more? I tagged Jason and said there are more coming, a few more people to reach out for this round. So okay, more self-publishing book, looks like they're still testing the portal, working on developing it, that's great. And then, look what he said here. This should be the last one. Then I'll open it up to everyone in the queue. What? Does that mean to the X thousand authors that are waiting in line to mint? Or does it mean the people who reached out when he did his long message here for the beta testing? I mean, he says the next one will be the last round of beta testing, from what I understand. So is the self-publishing portal coming already? Will it come before the end of the year? Remember, Consume to Earn is supposed to come this year, and if we get those stuff tokens dropped as we read, well, it would be good to have the other side of the economy, which is creators using the stuff token to publish their work. So creators, use the token, and readers receive the token, and then readers can sell it on exchange or buy new stuff with it, to have this circular economy. And it seems like a pretty big news, and it's like one line in a channel that most people never check. This could be big. Come on, self-publishing portal this year. Consume to Earn is already in the 2024 goals. Wow, we were getting there already. All the pieces are falling into place. And then what, we get offline mode, so it's a way better reading experience. And hey, we start connecting with TV shows. And they talked about a big music label who was interested as well. Like, things are brewing. Like, it's been quiet this summer, but they were definitely not slacking off, it seems. So yeah, we definitely need to keep an eye on that in the following weeks. And when it comes to the Stuff token, it's not doing so hot. Minus 13% on the 7-day. Yep, 1.16 cent at the moment. Yeah, struggle is real. Yeah, looks like we have some support here. Not sure, probably ADA went down also in the last week, so maybe that's why. I see the holders, I think we're at 10,591 last week. Yeah, so we lost quite a bit. And yeah, as always, we need well, if this self-publishing portal comes in and those thousands of authors need to buy the stuff token, then it's gonna be fun. And when consume to earn comes and they crank up the marketing, then hopefully more interest as well. And then we have the token bridge, which created an EVM version of the token. Will that unlock new exchange listings? Maybe. I did make a thread about tier 1 exchange listings and what I think about them. So I'm gonna do some self plug on this. So yeah, basically I checked 10 tokens which were listed on Binance, the last 10 tokens, and how they did. I'm not gonna go through the whole thread, but just look at the pictures. Pump and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump. This one doing fine. 0, yep, doing well. Good. Pump and dump, pump and dump. Yeah, not doing so great. And then those ones are very recent, that's why you don't have a lot of daily candles. But yeah, I'm not a believer of tier 1 listings. It's too expensive for what it is. I mean, if you give me 1 million USD, yes, I will create volume and liquidity. Or if I was on Solana, I could do it with 500 USD. Anyway, so yeah, I think centralized exchange makes sense to have like an off-ramp option, and the big ones like Binance or Coinbase, they make sense if you go for mass adoption. Because who uses an exchange? It's traders, people who are using their crypto all the time, and they want to cash out in fiat, or it's crypto newbies. Like I started with Binance as well, before moving deeper into Cardano. So yeah, I feel like centralized exchange doesn't really bring new customers. I mean, new holders because they trade, but what's the point? You want people who use the token, who are invested. And I think it will make sense for stuff. I can imagine that they do some ads, I'm saying like on TV, but whatever, maybe X, maybe Times Square, wherever. But no, they advertise directly to the masses, and then somewhere it's written, hey, you can buy it on Coinbase, for instance. So then the normal people who maybe have never been into crypto are like, hey, Coinbase, I know them. So okay, this project is legit, and I can look into that token. But they should be interested by the token, for the utility it provides. Shouldn't be like, hey, we are on an exchange, artificial pump before the listing and then crash. It was the same thing with MEXC. Like MEXC, when we announced that, the book token at that time went up to like 4 cents. And then you see the exact day it's listed, crashes. So, yep, I'm not a fan of exchange listings from what I've seen. Okay, so that will be all for the token. Let's be more positive with this self-publishing portal, which seems to be worked on. And yeah, hopefully all those thousands of authors, if they didn't get their stuff token yet, they will get around to do it. And that's it for this week. Very successful mint with Stag Alliance. Feels good. Feels good to see something selling out with almost 1,000 copies. And yeah, as I said, if you're a project, you're looking to release a book or even just a normal offer, and you wonder what else you can do with an NFT ebook, look at what the Stag Alliance did. And then yeah, next week, Charles token, we'll see how crazy it gets. Yep, yeah, I have no idea. I'm quite optimistic about it, but well, I was wrong about Stag Alliance just selling half and they sold out everything. So, don't believe everything, all my predictions, apparently. All right, I'll cut it here. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.